got loose from what was oh so tight. Somewhere we went wrong when we were oh so right. Something to do, we just can't take no. What's meant to do, my heart beats me to the door. Now I'm trying it again, and now this is the end. Tell me what's the use of holding on if we can't be friends? I'm trying to hold on. It hurts me how you know the love we must share now. Me purposely, I didn't understand that. Oh girl, why me? I had no choice. What was best for us was to terminate our love and be free. What's meant to do, you just can't take no. What's meant to do, my heart beats me to the door. Now we try again. What is up? What is up? Hey, I'm assuming you can hear me because somebody said 90s slow jams. And golly, that is not from the 90s. It does have that particular sound. Okay, good. What's up, Kevin? What's up, everybody? 360 in the house. We're going to do an altcoin madness. Yeah, we're going to do one. Even though the market has been incredibly boring, we're going to do one. Why not? Because there are some things that I do want to show you, because it's not like we are asleep, even though the market is kind of drab and dull at the moment. We're not asleep. We are actively, golly, why does my room look crooked? That's just like throwing me off. Hold on. Oh, all is well. All is well. I feel like I was on a ship or something, like stuff's just weird. It felt weird. All right, better? I think it's better. If it's still crooked, oh well, it looks even to me. So we're gonna do an altcoin madness, but before we start, as always, that's so jacked up. That is not nice, Rick. That is not nice. Before we get started, our videos are brought to you by the one and only 4C Media Co. .com. So make sure you're following them on Twitter. And go to the website because it is awesome. It's fantastic. Also, let's everybody give a huge shout out, especially my OGs. Give a huge shout out to the big net. See, intentionally inspirational, already ahead of me. Already knows what I'm going to say. Yes, huge shout out to my right hand, Nash, my brother. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do and for making all this possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to cover some altcoins today because there's a lot of things that we look at. We don't just look at one particular thing to determine whether we are, in fact, getting a market reversal. Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the keys here, as well as, and we did this in the last video. I actually showed you some of the stock market indexes to kind of give you an idea of what's going on there versus what's going on here. And other than the knee jerk that they had, I do believe that, yes, hit Nash up over there in the comments. He definitely deserves them. I do believe that, right? So right now, what are we really doing? If you cut away all the bull crap, all the smoke and mirrors, we are trying to ascertain and determine if the market has bottomed. So while we're looking for bottoms, while we are looking for bottoming, we don't know yet 100%. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you if we have that or not. Why? I talked about this in the last video, so you should already know. Because there's no change of character in the market. So there is no final confirmation that the downtrend of the correction has reversed. Okay, we don't have that. Okay, that's part one. So we need to see that on both obviously on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, period. That being said, it doesn't mean that we can't look at other things to determine if there's starting to be a change in the current or those type of things. And so how can we do that? Well, we begin to look at the broad spectrum. Close hanger marks. No close hanger marks. This was actually folded up. It's just sitting on my shoulders weird. It's just sitting on my shoulder. I don't hang up my t-shirts. Sorry, William. It's a very nice try. It's just wrinkly, man. And I don't hang up my t-shirts. This one came directly out of the drawer. See, perception. You think your perception is right, but it's not. It's not. It's so not. Oh, Lord. You people. I love it. I don't even remember what I was talking about. So looking across the broad spectrum of altcoins, and then trying to see, so what are we looking for? As I've been telling my elite, across the spectrum of altcoins, they're varied. Okay, what I mean by that is they're in all spectrums of price action. So some have really well deformed bottoms. Some have really well formed bottoms. Okay, we're gonna look at this. I just want you to hear it first. Some have really well formed bottoms, and some don't. Some look like they just might have bottomed and might be coming out, and some look better than others. So that's kind of the thing that we're looking for. And then we're going to look at one particular altcoin that actually, true, Rick. That's the first right thing you said all morning. Deformed globality. Thank you for using that word, though. That makes me feel good. And again, I forgot what I was saying. Rick, you need to stop posting. This is what we're doing. All right, we're monitoring the spectrum of charts to see if we can get more and more confirmation that money is starting to flow in, or that things are in fact bottomed. And then there's different stages of confirmation. So not just because something breaks a downtrend line. Does that mean that? And you saw that on Twitter. People are like, Bitcoin just broke its downtrend line. It's all up from here. So that's just one piece of the pie. Just because something breaks a trend line doesn't mean that it's going the opposite way. And here's the key to trend lines. Price can travel on both sides of that trend line and keep going in the same direction. Did you get that? If you're a chartist, write it down. Just because a downtrend line, price is going down, just because it breaks it doesn't mean it's going up. Because many times it'll break it and then keep going down, this time on the other side of the trend line. Do you see what I mean? So trend lines are good, but you've got to put it in context. All right, you've got to put it where it belongs. Now, if a downtrend line is broken, the next thing I would begin to look for, instead of saying, that's it, we're off to the moon, everything's going back up, it's not that, but now it gives me an idea. Hey, this did break its long-term downtrend line. The longer the better. Okay, the longer the better. It did finally break that downtrend line. Now maybe we can at least start to look to see if this is bottoming. So you move into phase 2. Okay, downtrend line broken. Okay, maybe now we'll get a bottom of some type, because it's not like everything just breaks the downtrend and goes straight up to nirvana or whatever, heaven, whatever. So that's not how it works. All right, so in context, but most people don't have the patience for this. And of course, Twitter, they want to FOMO everything. Downtrend line broken, it's off to the moon. You saw that. I saw many of those posts. I mean, and it's always from the people that really don't give very deep information. So enough of this. Let's go ahead and move on to the charts. Let me pull up I'm going to move you guys over here. Let me get my chart ready. We're not going to spend a ton of time on Bitcoin, Ethereum, but we are going to hit them very, very quickly. And then we're going to move into altcoins. Yeah, because that's why we're here. That's why you're here. Like, I probably have more in attendance on this one because it's altcoins than I do when I talk about the overall market. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. All right, so there we are. So this is what I mean. So there's that downtrend line. This is Bitcoin, by the way. This is Bitcoin. There's nothing has changed since we just covered this the other day in our other video. All right. And that's one of the reasons why I want to bring this back up, because this price action right here, this little bundle, this is now a week. Okay. There's day one, that first green candle, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 days. We are now on 7 days, and we're going into a weekend. We're going into a weekend. So we've come up off of this with a lot of great volume off this wick low, kind of revisited, got a little double bottom, almost a tweezer bottom there. Very good volume here. I do like it. And we did recover and recapture the market structure here. But, and everybody and their mother was posting that this broke out. Really? This on its own, it's meaningless. Why? Because like I just said before, downtrends can be broken and then price can travel down on the other side. Do you see what I just did there? So on its own, I would not necessarily trade that by itself. If that's your trade and you're like, it broke the downtrend line, I'm long, and that's all you got, I feel really bad for you, because many times, like I said, price just continues to go down, but this time it stays on top of the downtrend line. So on its own, it's really not that much. Now, what's good about this? What's good about this is there's been no violent reaction of sellers here. This is a violent reaction of sellers. So this comes down, violent reaction of buyers. Look at this violent reaction of buyers. That wick low, that wick, just price just bam, a lot of reaction from buyers or from bulls. But look at the reaction from bears up here. Boom, pushing price right back down. So bulls have pushed this back up. Where are the bears? Where are they? There's no violence of action. So that is, in fact, a good thing. Now, that doesn't mean it's a done deal. Okay, that doesn't mean it's a done deal. But it does lead one to be like, you know, are bears asleep up here at resistance? Okay, now for a change of character, the high before the low right here must be broken. That's why we have the cha chip here. Price has to break that and then hold it as support, and then price move higher. That would give us our trend reversal. So where are we at with Bitcoin? We're in limbo. Knowing that we have the resistance up here in the chach, and we have liquidity below, and we have the trend line below. Kind of a tough place, kind of between a rock and a hard place. So we don't really have a lot of information from Bitcoin, and we don't really have a lot of information from Ethereum. Again, there's your downtrend channel. Nice push off the lows, but this is even less formed than Bitcoin is. And you have 7 days of no action. 7 days. Now, I like this. I do think that we get the breakout here. Now, could this come back and get a triple bottom and then head up? Yes, it can. Absolutely, it can. It sure can. But the chach for Ethereum is way up here at about 2,100. However, the major resistance is at 1,750. So again, where is Ethereum? A rock and a hard place. You see what I mean? Not a whole lot to go off of. Not a whole lot to go off of. So that's where we are with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So have the markets bottomed? We don't know. We don't know. There's been no change of character. And while we have Bitcoin that's farther along in its bottoming formation than Ethereum is, both are still kind of in that rock and hard place. All right, we're done with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shall we do some altcoins? Yes, let me get a sip. Sorry, I went through some pretty tragic throat stuff recently, so. Okay. We're going to start with a crazy trade that 360 Elite just came out of. We actually just exited this morning, and this is Fartcoin in the midst of a disgusting market, in the midst of stocks getting killed, tons of shenanigans in the markets. Fartcoin has one of the most bullish charts. We actually bought this down here. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Around 37 cents. And then we rode this high. This actually hit $1. And this actually did hit $1 before it pulled back. We went ahead and took profits here at a 100% return in like a couple of weeks. We only had to hold this for a couple of weeks. We went ahead and exited this morning because of this breakdown here. All right. And because there's liquidity here. So I'm going to show this to you. Yep. So short term, this looks a little toppy. This looks a little toppy. And we also know that now this liquidity has filled from this candle. It just did it. However, there is still untapped liquidity right here. All right. So here's your major breakout right at about 60 cents. Rocket, pullback rocket. Now we have a short-term topping pattern. And we have a little bit of a breakdown. So we went ahead and exited this, took 100% profits in the 360 Elite. And this looks like this could hold up as resistance and come down and fill it, and we can take a new entry on this if this mitigates the breakout down here. So yeah, we also took profits because why else would we take profits? When you have a 100% return on an altcoin and the rest of the market still, you don't know whether it's bottomed, and the rest of the market still between a rock and a hard place, you kind of want to take it. You kind of want to take it off the table. So we did. Yep. So that's Fartcoin. Let's go ahead and look at some other coins just to see. Now I want to show you what I mean. And so I'm going to go to one of the most bullish looking altcoins. Okay. Let me back this down to, this is CRV. Yep, CRV. Now, most altcoins do not look like this. So I want to be very clear. There are very few that are at this stage of, and what I mean by that is, have already formed their bottoms. I'm going to make sure you can see. I really want to do this so you guys can see the totality. All right, well-formed bottom here. Yep. Nope. So we have a very, very nicely formed, well-established bottom. I want you to see this on CRV because I'm going to show you that most altcoins don't have this yet. They're at other stages. Like they're either here or they're here. You're going to see that in a minute because I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to show this to you. But this is well-defined, well-formed, and you can see the reaccumulation here in volume. But this not only has the well-formed volume, this has the breakout. And we actually have 40-cent entries down here. Our lowest entry on CRV was 40 cents. Yep. Right down in this area. So we're up about 50% right now on this. We have other entries right up in here. All right, right around 60 cents. We have our second level entry right around 60 cents. So what do I like? I like that this is an altcoin that has a fully established bottom, even testing its trend line. 1, 2, 3 touch, well-formed bottom, accumulation volume, breakout, and chotch. Because the lowest low is here. The high before that is here, the bounce high. And so this did achieve that breakout, pullback, retest, good volume off of support. Look at the strength on that. So here's your pullback. 1, 2, 3 candle pullback. And then look at the volume off of support. It shows strength of the breakout there. Yep, that's what that does. So if markets were to go bullish, you would be looking for a move at least into next market structure. Yep. Next market structure is where? Boom, boom, boom. So you're looking at 78. So that would put our lowest entry at about a 100% return, very close to. So this is where we're looking at the next move going, because this has already mitigated all of this level right here. So if you're looking at this level, yep, right here, it's already been mitigated. So based on that information, if price does move off this bullishly, this pushes through that pretty quickly and heads to the next major the next major supply level, and that is 78. But what I really wanted you to see here is that we do have a bullish chart on an altcoin. Now, I already showed you Fartcoin, which already moved. All right, it actually went pretty bullish. That would be like this moving up to William. You said that because you know I hate Litecoin, and now I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. So this would be like CRV moving to 78. But remember, not everything. So we're going to look at like a few more. We're going to look at a few more. Here's another one that I really like, structure of. All right, and I brought this to the attention of my elite. We'll stay on the daily chart. What the heck? Yeah. Let me get my arrow back. Yeah. So again, this is pinching now. So this is Maker, by the way. This is a blue chip, a major blue chip. Everybody knows who Maker is. There's your downtrend. Okay. And then you've got a major low tested, major demand level. I just want you to be able to see that right in this area that has been tested and held support. And then you have back in, okay, accumulation volume coming back in. And you have what's called price pinching. So you have price squeezing between the downtrend line and the higher low uptrend here. So I like it. I like this stuff. And this, even a move just to its chotch point is almost a 100% move. Like the change of character for this is way up here. It's way up here. Yep. That's near 2,200, guys. I mean, so you'd be entering right now at about 1,300 if you bought this squeeze. You'd be entering at about 1,300. You're like at a 90% return just at this returning to its chotch. But again, this is why I wanted you to see this. I wanted you to see some of our at different stages, different levels of. Look at some more. CVX loves to move with CRV. All right. So CVX has not chotched. CRV has chotched. But this is, again, setting in a nice bottom. You've got your triple bottom with your bear trap. That's your bear trap. So this is your fake out move. So people are looking to short this. All right. People are looking to short this low. And guess what? They're all trapped. See this bear trap here? They're like, yes, we've done it. Oops. All of these shorts are now trapped in here. And I want to show you where they're at. Yeah, you're getting a lot of chart training today. I mean, I hope you appreciate the fact that you're getting a lot of chart training. I love these sloping lines. The reason why I like them is because this is where the shorts have their stops. So every time this comes up, they've not been removed from the game. They're in there. But what does this type of stuff set the chart up for? It sets it up for not only bulls, by the way, love the volume here. This, for me, is owned by the bulls. This is reaccumulation. All this level right here, the bulls are here. It shows that they're present. So for me, this sets up a breakout and a short squeeze as they start getting taken out. And it sets up like a domino effect. Boom, boom, next level, boom, next level, which would bring us at least to probably 350. All right, so right now you're at 220. This would get you to about 350. That's a gosh darn good short-term trade. It just is. It's a gosh darn good short-term trade. But again, it also sets these things up for going bullish long-term, you know, because they're coming off of major lows. And if we get that major market reversal for Bitcoin, we get that major market reversal for Ethereum, most importantly, then you're going to see this stuff play out. And then short-term traders can make gains, but then you start getting your chachas, okay? And then you start your long-term holdbacks start to become bullish. So, but I just want to show you this because it's another formation of bottoming. Let's look at more. Now, this one I love because you can clearly see this is NPC, non-playable. It's coming off of its low. Okay. Old area. It's coming off that low. And then you can kind of see reaccumulation happening down here in a fight. Right into resistance, but we got a higher low. So we have a single low. We have a higher low. And now we have bulls still present up here. We have bulls still present up here. And I love that this didn't just come up here and test. Instead, you have a slight pullback here. I like this because this, for me, if this goes bullish, is a better setup. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day pullback pre-resistance. And it sets up for something that could be explosive for a breakout, okay? And for me, this probably would head right about somewhere up in here. Somewhere in, and I'm going to actually range draw this one. Yeah. This is where I would see a breakout going. Somewhere up in this zone next. But again, a different formation of bottoming here at a different stage, than other things. So you can see not all altcoins are in the same basket or at the same stage of bottoming. They're just not. And yes, I will do everybody's favorites because if not, you guys will just get pissed and then you'll gripe, groan, and complain. So what do I like about XRP here? All right. So XRP is in a different stage because it went mega bullish. And then it has pretty much maintained this level. So we did finally get a candle bear trap here. Okay, this is a reaccumulation zone after testing the ATH up at 336, which it did very quickly. Pull back, boom, test. Come back down into this reaccumulation zone. And then bears got trapped here. So shorts are trapped again, once again. Okay, high demand. You can see that demand through these wicks. Bulls reacting violently. This time, bears getting trapped in here and this level being retaken. So for me, this, if the market holds up and the market reverses, this is bullish. Make no mistake. This is bullish. And now this is back up in range with shorts trapped once again. And so this is now ready at any time that the market reverses and goes bullish. All of this has already been mitigated, all this price action. So I think we would get a quick return to the ATH that probably has short-term resistance. You get your pullback. And then this bad boy makes new all-time highs and probably becomes and continues to be an altcoin market leader, a blue chip market leader. I do believe blue chips, Listen to what I'm telling you. I do believe that when Ethereum flips that switch, I think we see a very, very strong return to a lot of blue chips leading the market. And that does include items like XRP here. So this is what I'm looking at in the future for XRP. Now, XRP does need Ethereum to go bullish for this to happen. So this is what we're waiting for. And then we'll do everybody's, and I do have the, since I have the shirt on, since I have my Telcoin shirt on, we will do, I'm going to back this out to the weekly. Yes. So what do I love? What I love is Bitcoin. Telcoin has tested the major bull market structure. Okay. Let me get this down a little bit. Like that. Make sure you guys can see this. There we go. I had to move you beside my photo. Yeah. So this is the bull market structure. Everything above this line, everything above this line is the bull market structure. Everything above there. So what I love about Telcoin is that Telcoin tested the bottom of it. So all of this space between here and there has all been mitigated. Yes, I love that. I love that. Now this has mitigated all of this bull market move. So let me show this to you. This is its bear market. I want you to see this clearly. Yeah. This zone is its market zone where it got massively reaccumulated. So what did it do? It broke out, mitigated the low or the bottom side of the bull market. That means TEL has never been in a bull market yet. All this is doing is mitigating what's getting ready to happen and what's coming later. Because this has done this, price can move back through these zones very, very quickly and very, very easily without much volume. It's what most people fail to understand, okay? Because it's all been dealt with and mitigated, all this space. It's pulled back to the top of the bear market structure. So this can move when markets reverse and go bullish. This can move very quickly back up here. This probably holds up on the second tap as resistance. But once this breaks, this is going to hold up as support. Why? Because all of this zone now, look at this open area. I want you to see this. This open area. And I want you to listen to what I'm telling you. This zone has not been dealt with. Price has spent very little time there. Look, very quickly, this zone has not been dealt with very often. It's why you're getting this price action here. It's got to be dealt with, and it is being dealt with. It is being dealt with. So that now when we travel back through it, once this breaks, this level can hold up as support. This level can hold up as support. So I like that this price action has been dealt with, this big zone. Initially, because it's a big zone, price action moves through it quickly. But then there's a lot of price action area that has to be dealt with. And we're getting that finally. We're getting that finally. And what that does is validate price above it. So when this comes back up, this is when this finally does come up and test resistance. I don't think it breaks on first attempt, but you're going to get a slight pullback, probably on low volume. And then you get your real breakout. You get your real breakout into what? Our bull market zone. And then this area can finally hold support. Yep. And then you get your return to bull market. But again, we need all of crypto to the crypto market, the part of the cycle that we're waiting for. Move you guys back over here. The part of the cycle that we're waiting for, the part that is not evident and has not shown on any of the macro charts is what we're waiting for and what we need to see. And that's the Ethereum to flip that switch finally. And then altcoins to do what from Bitcoin? Take the reins. All right. We need it to take the authority from Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin, and I'm not going to go back into the chart, but Bitcoin has dominance. Bitcoin has dominance. It must give up dominance to Ethereum and altcoins. Listen to what I'm saying. That has never happened yet. This cycle. It happens every cycle. It will happen this cycle. How do we know this? We've never needed, look, even without Wall Street, it has always occurred. And some folks are still saying, well, we're late. We're not late. You guys have, well, probably because you weren't in crypto in 2017, in the 2016 cycle. That's probably why they're saying we're behind. Okay. If we line up with that cycle, then that bull market wouldn't even occur until winter, October, November, December of this year. So calm down. The chart looks so, our cycle chart wise with Ethereum and altcoins looks very, very identical to the 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 era. Very similar in nature. So what's coming is coming. Only this time, listen closely, only this time, we have Wall Street products on the desk of the SEC, who is pro-crypto, ETFs, spot ETFs waiting for altcoins. And you think we're not going to have an alt-dominated portion of the cycle? You crazy! You crazy! You just ain't patient. That's the problem. You just ain't. You're tired. I get that all the time. I'm tired. Of what? What? How hard is it to wait? It's not. It's not hard. It's not hard. So stop listening to narrative. And we've already defeated narrative. How many times has the 360 Elite defeated narrative and been correct? Over and over and over and over. Look, don't do crypto alone. Join the 360 Elite, man. If you're scared, if you're tired, join the 360 Elite, man. Hope you enjoyed Altcoin Menace. We're going to keep it up. We're going to keep doing it no matter what the market is. Until next time, baby, here comes the boom. How do I stop this thing? Where is my screen's too big? I can't get out of here. There we go. Bye-bye.